And welcome in everybody. The Kings trail the Pelicans 65-54. And Jerry, just an absolutely sloppy first half.
Oh, just terrible. It's just turnover ratio terrible. That the start of the game, just no focus, intensity defensively at all, and got a big hole. Getting themselves out of it to some degree. I mean, but uh, defensively, at some point you got to play. You got to play 5, 6 good minutes of defense somewhere along the line. This team, New Orleans, obviously they've got with McCollum and Murphy and Zion, they got three guys that can really score the ball. It's tough to cover, but it doesn't excuse the sloppy play and the lack of real effort, consistent effort on defense.
Yeah, just really, really bad. Got some booze there in the second quarter. Jerry, we could spend the whole show talking about the defense. Let's turn to what's going on with the offense and the starters. Jerry, just almost as bad.
Yeah, I just don't see how much longer you can stay with this starting unit. I mean,
Agreed.
I just think Keon Ellis has got to be in there. Uh, I mean, he just simply makes the team better. It seems like every time he gets on the floor, and you know, if you want to try to dig yourself out of 15-point, deficits every quarter. I mean, of course, Keon. I mean, Ravia really gave him a nice boost.
He did.
Thought the bench, that's the first time we've really seen the bench really be a difference maker. And fortunately, they saved the Kings, at least give them a chance now. But I don't like that starting unit. They're going to make some tough calls there. I've been, as you know, I've said for several weeks now that this was for the trade that I thought they really needed to move to DeRozan as a sixth man, as a spark plug, and then because he is so valuable in the fourth quarter, usually he'd be fresher, and certainly with he and Levine and Domas, I mean, and Monk, I mean, especially with Monk, you got three guys that need the ball, and that's one too many.
Yeah, it is. Jerry, with the situation with the Kings where they're at right now, DeMar, he's spoken up about possibly, not being here for this to a degree. I guess, does a move like that, asking DeMar to come off the bench and the Kings not still have success, possibly hinder his tenure here in Sacramento?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I think you have to look at what it takes to make your team better today,
Agree.
tomorrow. I mean, and certainly no disrespect to DeRozan. I mean, he's had a marvelous, probably Hall of Fame career, but he wouldn't be the first level player like that to become a really good bench player as his career wound down. I mean, Andre Iguodala in Golden State comes to mind. Of course, Manu Ginobili was that role all along, and obviously first ballot Hall of Famer. And Vince Carter, he was as big a star as it was in the league, and he
Sure.
became extremely valuable off the bench player. So, at some point, it's about making the team better and finding a way to, be productive. And certainly, yeah, I don't think anybody likes to go to the bench, generally speaking, but somebody's got to. You can't play. You can't start 12. So
That's right. It's very, very true. Kings lucky to be down 9 here at the half. Every starter negative in the plus minus column by double digits. Jerry, 0 points for Malik Monk there in the first half.
Yeah, I think Malik really was trying to a fault maybe of getting everybody involved. I thought really the last game or so he'd been looking for his offense maybe too much, but yeah, he'll for the Kings to win, Malik Monk's got to be Malik Monk in the second half, and I'd be very surprised if he's not. Obviously, DeRozan's not a factor at all either. So two of your three go-to guys just not putting up points, but. One of the two has got to have a really strong offensive half. I don't
They
know if
do.
both do, but one of them does.
Absolutely. A story of runs. That bench unit spurred a 17-2 run, which brought the Kings back into it early in the second quarter. That was followed up by an 11-0 run by New Orleans. Both teams, as we said, very sloppy with the basketball in this one. 13 first half turnovers for the Kings, 9 for New Orleans. Luckily, the points only 12 points off, or 9 points off of those for New Orleans. Jerry, what do the Kings, besides what we've said, play defense, don't turn the ball over, but offensively, what do they need to do to have a chance in this one?
Well, I do think that, they've really got to just get better spacing and quicker ball movement. I mean, obviously, the longer you hold the ball or dribble it, New Orleans doing a nice job of really attacking the dribblers.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the turnovers have come from. So, and then just the little things. It's like Trey Murphy. Well, normally you don't really think about guarding a guy at 30 feet. Well, you need to start thinking about that. He's almost like a big Damian Lillard or
Yes.
Steph Curry. I mean, his range is where he can see it. And so you can't leave him, and you got to pick him up much quicker.
Yeah, and New Orleans 11-20 from beyond the arc in this one. Do not look like a team that's lost 7 in a row. Zion Williamson, a very, very strong first half. Jerry, what do you do to try to slow him down a little bit?
Well, I think the Kings are trying to do just about what they can, and you're going to have to give help on him. I mean, if you can really, the best thing to do is try to keep him getting the ball. He's not one of those guys that will really move a lot to get it. And so if you can deny him some easy possessions in there, that's your best chance. Because once he's got it, really the Kings have nobody who can guard him head up. And so that means that second defender's got to come in there, and that's opening up some of those shots for other players. And but to the positive, I just don't think it's possible for the Pelicans to shoot this well from 3-point range. History would. So as they fall off and start missing, that should lead to some easy transition opportunities if the Kings will just go score the ball, not kick it away.
Yeah, and the Kings have done well in transition. Keon Ellis has pushed the pace very well. LaRavia did a good job of that in his short time on the court. The Pelicans have led by as many as 20 in this one. The Kings have not led at all. The Kings see the Pelicans 2 more times in the next 6 days after this. Jerry, a lot of commentary in the first half about Zion Williamson's weight, his inability to stay on the court. Did you feel it was getting a little bit out of hand?
Well, I mean, with Zion, his conditioning probably isn't great. I mean, how much has he played? His body doesn't look that bad to me, but I think that's the problem. At least right now, they'd like to probably play him 35 minutes, but he can't do it. But it's also true is when he's on the floor, they're going to him about every possession. So the Kings, in other words, the coach is very smart. They're going to ride the horse as long as he's out there and can play. And so that'll be a key in the second half, just how many minutes he can play. But, with Zion, he's just hasn't been healthy in his career.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line, yeah.
He came into this season in the best shape of his career, and then the same problem. So you don't know how that compounds. But the bottom line is he's not playing back-to-backs, which means you probably will only see him one time in New Orleans. But Jerry, this game's so important because after this one, you've got 3 games in 4 nights. You're a game under 500. Is it almost a must-win?
Well, I think it is. I mean, especially when you see Dallas winning and the Warriors won, teams that,
Great point.
That you're really concerned about, obviously. I mean, it's always good to see, San Antonio lost, but they're behind you. So you've got to look at the teams ahead of you or in the same spot at the gain ground.
Well, give us your final scores in the chat. Jerry, which way you going on this one, and what's your key here to the second half?
Well, I'm probably drinking the purple Kool-Aid, but I think that, I really believe the Kings can win this game, and they should win this game. But I think it's going to be close. I'm kind of looking at about 110 to 107 Kings win. I think they'll get within a few points going into the fourth and then win the game.
I unfortunately wish I had some of that Kool-Aid here. I do not, my friend.
It's getting harder to bring it up. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's hard to find in the stores these days. But no, I just don't see, Jerry, how this offense, especially with the starters, is going to kick out of this. The ball movement, to see the clear change in ball movement between the bench unit and the first unit, I don't see how the Kings catch up to the bench unit in terms of moving the ball. Any reason to see why that's going to start here in the second half? I think New Orleans is actually going to run away with it. I'm going to say New Orleans 117, Sacramento 104 in this one. So give us your final scores. You, my friend, have a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, huge game, Chiefs. My son's a huge Chiefs fan. I'm a big Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
But as you know, I'm a front runner. I can jump on them when they're really good. So he'll come out, and we're looking forward to it. We'll get mentally ready, and that's I'm not real confident. I think that
Really?
I really do think the Eagles have more talent, but the Kings have number 15.
That's right.
And that's still, last time I checked, that's a pretty good edge.
The only way I think you beat them is if you keep 15 off the field. I
agree with you. I mean, if it's close and 15 gets the ball, he's proven probably more than any quarterback, other than Brady. I mean, he's going to move the ball down the field. Now, a lot of things can happen, but yeah, I'm really be exciting. I'd love to see him get the three-peat, but it's been a marvelous run for him regardless.
No doubt. Well, enjoy the big game. Next time we're talking, your team might be the first team ever in the NFL to three-peat, my friend.
Well, I hope so. And as you know, I'll take full credit and act like, I've been with them all through all the bad years when probably wasn't. But, that's part of being a fan. You can jump on a bandwagon and you can jump off.
Damn right.
They can't make you stay on there. They can't make you jump on.
Unless you're a Kings fan, you're kind of glued to that thing.
Yeah, bless Kings fans' hearts, and I'm starting to understand them better all the time. Being one, it's tough. It is tough.
Well, my friend, enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Don't drink too much of that Kool-Aid. You need to save it for the rest of the season.
We'll bottle up a bunch more. I think we're going to need a whole lot of it.
Love it, Jerry. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us at the half. We'll see you next game. All right. Jerry Reynolds joined us. What a fun time to have him every single halftime. Hey, we are not done. I'll get you your final scores in a second. We will be back tonight for the post game. Napes is planning to be here. He is a game time decision. If he is not, I will take you home. But I have not received any indication that he's not going to be here. So make sure you come back. We'll be taking your phone calls. We'll be talking about this one and the bigger picture coming out of this one as well. I'm with Jerry. I don't see how this team comes out with where they're at right now with that kind of effort defensively. It's beyond me. That wasn't being bad defenders. There was no effort to begin the game. Jake LaRavia, the talk of Sacramento right now. We'll see if he can spark the Kings to a second half, and certainly Malik Monk getting it going as well. They are getting ready to take the court right now. Let's get a couple of your scores up. Kim, 114, 111 Kings. I like it. She's got some Kool-Aid there too. RP 110, 108 Sacramento. We will get a few more up and we will send you out. Yeah, it's difficult. We'll talk about it on the other side. Hey, make sure you come back with us again right after the game. Win, lose, draw. There is no draws in the NBA though. Grant and I will be here to wrap it up for you, taking your phone calls, and we'll probably kick around a little Super Bowl or whatnot as well. Thanks so much for being here. Enjoy the second half. We will see you right after the game here on If You Don't Like That.